What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartinger. Hope you have a wonderful day. And it's time to get all of these insane people out of our education system. We've talked about all the way down to elementary school, a lot of these teachers subscribing to insane critical race theory and self-hating, telling their young students, in particular white ones, that they're born with this original sin of whiteness. I don't think that it's healthy. I don't think that it accomplishes the goal that they say it does. See, in my opinion, and if you agree, let me know by leaving a like on this video and hitting that red subscribe button. It helps you find the videos. It's the only way you'll ever find them because YouTube doesn't recommend them. So I appreciate all of you clicking subscribe today. In my opinion, critical race theory is a self-serving system of division and profit. So what it does is create more division and divisiveness amongst people that look different, then inflates this artificial job market for all these idiots that got $100,000 gender studies degrees 10 years ago. You see all these new positions, high-paying positions, diversity officer and inclusion secretary and all this garbage, unneeded positions that really only serve to divide. And it's running rampant in our school system. Now, I did go through a traditional university here in Wisconsin. I can't think of ever coming across this, but I was in business school. I suppose business school nowadays would be drastically different. All white people are racist. I hate whiteness. University official who is white goes off on tirade. White people need to sit down and shut up. Days before the one-year anniversary of the beginning of the Summer of Love, an assistant dean at the Graduate Student Affairs at Brandeis University, who is white, wrote on Instagram that all white people are awful and that she hated whiteness. Kate Slater, a self-described racial justice scholar, what do you need an education for that? Get out there and be the change you want to see. What exactly are you learning at a university? Why are we paying professors to teach this? They should all just be marching in the streets, giving up their jobs to people of color, giving up their education to people of color. No, what they really are doing is spending 4 years of mommy and daddy's money, or, well, yours and my money, only to get out of college deeply in debt with no career opportunities, and then they want the federal government to pay off their college loans. Kate Slater wrote, yes, all white people are racist, and that all white people have been conditioned in a society where one's racial identity determines life experiences and outcomes, and whiteness is the norm and the default. That includes me. I don't hate white people. I hate whiteness. I don't understand who this is for. I don't know what percentage of let's just pick a random non-white race. I don't know what percentage of black folks I have that watch my videos. I know it's a non-zero number because I've talked to some fans or viewers who are not white. But is this for you? Do you like hearing this? I can't imagine you would. I know you don't. If you watch me, you definitely don't. So who is this for? It's like the original sin of whiteness. Debates about critical race theory are often straw men about whether or not systematic racism is real. It isn't. No number of statistics or facts that I could ever offer up are going to convince people to see that it's real. Yes, all white people are bad, in that white people have been conditioned. What is whiteness? CRT does not create oppression. It names oppression that already exists. No, it actually does divide people actively. I've mentioned this before about critical race theory and this anti-white education stuff, or it's more like the original sin of whiteness. If you're telling, white people, as a white person, white people bad, everybody else much better than white people because you've been oppressing them, what do you think the natural human reaction to that is? It's going to be to repulse from that. It's going to be to garner resentment because, like most people, you haven't done anything actively or inactively to hold others back. And so where's all this coming from? You're going to start resenting them, creating more division, and thus creating jobs for morons like this, who write things like, for all white folks with an X, I invite you to take a moment today and reflect on the past year, a year of racial reckoning. How have you been paying attention, interrupting, and holding yourself accountable? I'm just living my life, brosif. It's not my job to walk around feeling bad about myself. You can choose to do that and be deeply unhappy, convincing yourself that you're making a difference, while the most rest of us are just treating people equally and getting on with our days, just trying to, pay the bills, put food on the table for our family, maybe buy a property down the line, or get out of the cities, or buy a condo, or start a business, buy that car you've always wanted, or buy just a dang car that works. That's what most people are doing. Most people aren't getting a $30,000 a year education on how to hate themselves and other people that look like them. It goes on to say, how will you commit and reconnect to racial justice and disrupting and divesting from whiteness, and to building a more equitable world that's free of racial subjugation? How do these people, these people aren't getting laid. That's obvious, right? Their families definitely hate them. They have no friends. They try and befriend black folks and other minority groups so that they can post selfies with them. But the black folks they hang out with don't like them either. And the only people they can find are random other self-hating people, like on Instagram, or they used to be on Tumblr. In a virtual speech hosted by the University of New Hampshire, Slater announced her pronouns were she and hers, adding, "The most important aspect of my personal identity for the purpose of this conversation is that I am a white woman." She acknowledged, "I do want to put that big caveat. I'm in no way, shape, or form an expert on the history of race and racism. I don't believe that's possible for a white person to be an expert in race and racism." What are you apologizing for? What are you going to school for? I don't think we can be expert in something that we enact versus something that we experience. Well, actually, if we're so good at it, you probably would be an expert, wouldn't you? White people need to sit down and shut up right now. Your own opinions right now as white people do not matter. Quite frankly, you have not experienced racism. I mean, she sounds pretty racist to me. And she is white. Why isn't she taking her own advice? Is it different for her? You represent the oppressor. What? No. See, this is so insane. Let's just take a look at a typical day in my life. I get up, I take my dog outside. I cheer her on as she does her business. Then I go inside and I take my other dog outside. I cheer him on as he does his business. Then I go to the refrigerator, get a pre-portioned amount of raw food out for the little one, a pre-portioned amount of raw food out for the big one, mix in some supplements, and then take them back outside. Then I come downstairs where I do my day job. Then I, with the rest of my day, create YouTube videos. Then dinner comes around. We take the dogs to the park, maybe for a walk. Then I eat dinner, watch an hour of television programming, and I go to bed. And I do that 6 days a week. So exactly what in that schedule is oppressing anybody else? Most days I don't even interact with anybody else. So this idea that, people are even passively oppressing others is absurd. And these people are in our students. Are in our schools. You see articles like this. It turns out that all those woke white allies were lying. Corporations change their policies. Individuals join the movement to prove their commitment. Companies pledge billions to the struggle for racial equity. The multiracial outpouring of sympathy and solidarity transformed the country. And then white people went home and kept being white. They don't want your help anyway. I can't imagine what it's like. Obviously, okay, I understand that being black does come with, at times for some, a different experience, or any color, or any race. Same, really for everybody. Everybody has a unique experience based on their race. But it doesn't have to be every moment of every second of every day of your life. You surround yourself with people that treat you right. You don't put yourself in positions. This idea that whiteness is this thing that is a negative. Why, if we change that color to anything other than that, people would be outraged. Kim Kardashian cornrows, white women voting for Trump, wedge heels. It was a fad. White people love black people like they love TikTok dances and acid wash jeans and liberty and justice for all. Have you ever seen a white woman cry on cue or a Democrat campaigning in a black barbershop? You really believe that? Even after most white people in the history of America voted for a white nationalist authoritarian? Okay, so that's who you think Trump was. Okay. Trump's platinum plan looked like it did more for the black community than anything Joe Biden's ever done. But yeah, keep voting Democrat and keep voting for people that just want to keep you down, so you keep voting for them for more free stuff. It's absolutely absurd. These type of people in our education system need to be fired immediately. If a single penny of my tax dollars are going towards this, I want that stopped immediately. And these people need to be put in a padded room. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.